What's up, guys? I'm Chris with Recon Athletics. I want to show you guys how to work the heavy bag properly. A lot of people don't really work it properly. They don't know how to use this as a training tool. They think it's just for going crazy on, peacocking at the gym, and they end up beating the bag like it owes them money. Well, let's talk about how to use it efficiently and effectively. Stop going crazy on the bag. Don't go 100% power, especially off the bat. I see some guys at the gym, for some reason, especially immediately after I'm done using it, probably a coincidence, right? They clearly have zero training. A lot of times they wear a white beater. After flowing for a little bit, they step up to the bag, bare knuckle, and they just go. Clearly, that's not the right way to use this. Not for just throwing 100%. In fact, most of the time, we're not going to be throwing 100%. We're throwing more around like 60 or 70. If you're going hard, I can't air quote these, but imagine air quotes, we're really aiming for about 80%. We should never really need to throw above 80%, even in an actual competitive match, because of all your momentum being committed to the strike. The consequence of missing, that's a lot of momentum going forward if we miss. Generally, we're flowing around 70%, give or take. When you're warming up, 50, 60% is perfectly fine. Start, keep it simple, okay? It doesn't need to be anything fancy. I don't need to be going left, right, right, big uppercuts, big looping hooks. What's the most primary punch? Jab. So the hands are up. I'm moving my body around. I'm not just standing still in front of it. I'm moving. I'm light on my toes. If you want some variation, you can double up the jab. You can go head body. If I want to add a little bit to it, well, what's the most basic after the jab? Cross. So I can go solo crosses. Jab cross together. Keep it simple. Don't overthink it. Don't make it look crazy. When I see people working the bag in the gym, I usually give people the most respect when they're working on the basics, right? Someone fine-tuning their jab to make sure they're not crowding it, to make sure they're not leaning for it, right? When I see someone making those range adjustments, get the perfect crisp shot, that's what I notice in a martial arts. Looking for good repetitions, they're not looking for show punches. So the next big concept I want to talk about is, I actually forgot it, I'm in the script. Stop standing still. Maybe you saw it or noticed it a little bit when I'm working the bag, even with the basics. If I send out a jab, I'm immediately moving backwards after that jab. If I don't like the information that I got, I want to get out. The bag's not going to move if you're actually sparring and you throw the jab and they can see it and move away. Well, I can keep that real estate I just purchased, or I can continue to advance off of it. The bag doesn't move anywhere, so we tend to play a little bit more defense with it, right? Moving back, my hands up. Additionally, off of movement, it doesn't just have to be in and out. Practice some of your slips and rolls, right? You throw a jab, immediately slip. Jab cross, slip. Jab cross, roll, cross block, cross, right? But I need to be active off the strikes. We all see a bad striker when it's just feet aren't moving anywhere, hips aren't really turning, I'm not cutting angles. But again, sometimes you start and you're just practicing range. Moving angles. So kind of putting it all together, essentially I want to treat the bag like an opponent, not an inanimate object. If you treat it like an inanimate object, it's going to create a bad habit of treating opponents like inanimate objects. You're going to start a sparring round, you're going to touch gloves, and you're just going to stand there and get blasted right in the face, or blasted with a low kick because you're just hanging out. You're not respecting the offense. So I need to imagine that this bag can punch me in return. So when I start, it's basic. Hands are up, I'm moving away. going to be a little bit more important for MMA. This is an MMA channel. In boxing, for sure, we can work on shelling up. I suck at boxing, by the way. You can work on shelling up, Philly shell, whatever you want to do. Muay Thai even, sometimes they work in the pocket, okay? But for MMA, we generally don't hang out in the pocket because people are going to do one of two things. They're either going to initiate grappling, which is clinching or shooting a takedown, or they're going to retreat. We generally get 2-3 strike combinations before someone's trying to get out or get all the way in. So for MMA bag work, simple, going at 50-60, especially those first couple rounds, when you're going hard, and can't air quote, 70-80%. Little bit of pop, but we're still not going crazy, just in case we miss. On a real person. If you miss the bag, go back to fundamentals. Also, like, comment, subscribe if you want some more tips on how not to look like a jackass when you're starting MMA. All right.